Daniel, I whispered, gripping the hospital bed rails, can you just stay a little longer? He glanced at his phone, not even looking me in the eyes. Lila's outside. She doesn't know her way around. I told her I'd drive her home. I stared at him, chest tightening. I just fainted at work and got rushed here. They said I might have collapsed from stress or dehydration. And you're leaving? She panicked when she heard you were in the hospital. She came all the way here. You know how sensitive she is. Sensitive? My voice cracked. She cried once when I beat her in Monopoly. He sighed, running a hand through his hair. Come on, don't start. I'll be back soon. You said that last time? You didn't come back then either. This isn't about us right now, okay? He said, already turning toward the door. Just rest. Daniel, I called, louder now, more desperate. Can't you see I'm hurting? He paused, but only for a second. Don't make this about you. And just like that, he walked out. And I shattered. I lay there for hours, staring at the dull ceiling. Machines beeped quietly beside me. No texts, no missed calls, just silence. When the nurse came in, she asked, "Do you want me to call someone?" "No," I whispered. "There's no one." The next day, I dragged myself back home. He was on the couch, laughing at something on his phone. "You didn't come back." "I told you Lila was in bad shape. She cried the whole ride. Said seeing you in that bed reminded her of her mom." I blinked slowly. "Her mom's alive. I met her last week." "She meant emotionally. You don't get it. You're strong. She's delicate?" I scoffed, sitting down across from him. "So that makes it okay to abandon me?" "I didn't abandon you. I just needed to be there for someone who needed comfort." "And what did I need, Daniel?" He didn't answer. Weeks passed. Every day I faded more. Every time she texted, he dropped what he was doing. I started hiding my tears in the bathroom. One night, I tried talking again. "She's always around now. Every time we make plans, she needs something." "She's going through a lot," he muttered, not looking up from his laptop. "So am I, Daniel." He sighed. "You're always complaining lately. I'm trying to fight for this, for us, and you're making me feel like a burden." "You're not a burden," he mumbled. "Just exhausting sometimes." That hurt more than any silence. Lila always had perfect timing. She'd call during our dinners, show up crying during our quiet nights, and Daniel, he'd melt every time. Once I tried confronting her. "I know what you're doing." Her doe eyes widened. "What do you mean?" "You're inserting yourself between us. Every time we get close, you fall apart." She blinked, voice trembling. I don't have many friends. Daniel's always been there for me. I didn't mean to make you feel left out." I stared at her. "You're not stupid, Lila. You know exactly what you're doing." She bit her lip and looked away. "I'm sorry if you feel that way. Not, I'm sorry for what I did. Just if I felt that way." One night, I came home late. My chest hurt again. I was shaking. I thought maybe this was another fainting spell. Daniel wasn't home. His car was at her place. I called. No answer. I texted. Nothing. I curled up on the couch and cried into a pillow, wishing someone, anyone, would choose me. When he walked in at 3 a.m., I sat up, hollow. "You stayed the night?" She had a panic attack. I couldn't just leave her alone. And I was here, sick, alone. He ran a hand down his face. "Why does it always have to be about you?" I looked at him, really looked, and I realized he never saw me as someone who needed protection, only someone who should endure. "You always protect her. She needs me. And I don't?" He didn't reply. I stood up, my knees weak, voice even weaker. "You didn't choose her just now. You've been choosing her for months. That's not true." But it was, and he knew it. That night, I knew something broke for good. Not with him, no, with me. Because the moment you stop begging to be seen is the moment you realize you were never invisible, just ignored. The pain in my chest got worse after that night. At first I thought it was heartbreak, maybe anxiety, but the truth was crueler. "It's your heart," the doctor told me weeks later. stress-related cardiomyopathy, also known as broken heart syndrome. I almost laughed. You're serious? It's rare, but real. Your body's reacting to emotional trauma as if it's physical injury. I looked away. Of course it is. Daniel didn't come to the follow-ups. He sent flowers once. No note. Lila came, though. She sat on the edge of my bed with a forced smile. Daniel's worried about you. I stared at her. He's not here. He wanted to be, but he was up all night comforting me. I had nightmares. You always do when he's not around, don't you? She blinked, then smiled sweetly. We all deal with trauma differently. I turned my face toward the window. Get out. Excuse me? Leave. Now. She rose, fake concern still dripping off her like perfume. You should really learn to control your emotions. Daniel said that's why he can't. I said get out. She left, and I exhaled, long and slow. The next morning, I collapsed again. Everything blurred. The lights, the beeping, the nurses shouting. I heard someone scream my name. I thought it was Daniel, but it wasn't. It was me. And then, silence. Just blackness. No light. No tunnels. Just peace. I wasn't sad. I wasn't afraid. I just let go. When I opened my eyes, I gasped. I was lying in my old bed, pink sheets, messy desk, cracked phone charger. My calendar still had notes scribbled for senior year. What the? I looked in the mirror and staggered back. Younger, healthier, no bruises under my eyes, my heartbeat steady. I screamed. My mom rushed in. Honey, are you okay? I blinked. Mom? She stared at me like I was crazy. Did you have another nightmare? I touched her face. Warm. Alive. Whole. No, I whispered. It was just real. I sat in the shower for an hour. I remembered everything. Daniel's neglect, Lila's lies, my final breath. But none of it had happened yet. I'm back, I whispered to myself. And this time, I won't waste it. When I saw Daniel at school, my breath hitched. He looked the same. Same crooked smile, same careless walk. Hey, he said, walking up to me. You're in my chem class, right? I stared for a moment too long. No, he blinked. Pretty sure you are? Pretty sure I'm not interested. His smile faltered. Whoa, okay. I walked away. It felt good. That night, Lila messaged me. Lila, hey, want to hang at my place this weekend? I stared at the screen, heart pounding. So it had begun. Again, I typed, no thanks, busy, then blocked her. At dinner, my mom asked, you're quiet tonight. I'm just thinking. About school, about everything I didn't do the first time around. She frowned. What? Nothing. I smiled softly. I'm just grateful to be here. Lying in bed, I clutched the same pillow I'd cried into years ago, but I didn't cry this time. I was too awake, too alive. I died begging to be loved. I whispered into the dark. This time I'll live knowing I don't need to be. And somewhere deep inside me, a quiet fire began to burn. Wait, you're not in the club anymore? Mia asked, sliding into the seat beside me at lunch. Nope, quit yesterday. But you were vice president. Doesn't matter, I've got better things to do. She blinked. Like what? I looked across the cafeteria. Daniel had just walked in, laughing with two of his teammates. I smirked. Things that don't involve begging to be seen. He noticed me that day. I could feel it. His eyes lingered when I passed by. He asked Mia about me after class. She told me later. What's going on with you? She asked. He said you used to be friendly. Maybe I got tired of being the friendly girl. In chemistry class, he slid into the seat beside mine without asking. You really aren't going to talk to me? I flipped through my notes. Do I know you? Ouch. Harsh. Must have confused me with someone who cares. He laughed softly. I get it. You're the tough type. No, I said, looking him in the eyes. I just learned not to waste my softness. He didn't know what to say after that. Good. Liam noticed me too. He sat behind me every day. Always quiet, but sharp, observant. After class, he caught up to me by the lockers. You said something interesting in chem. I raised an eyebrow. Which part? The part about not wasting softness. I shrugged. Just a thought. It wasn't just a thought, he said. It felt like a scar. I looked at him. You've got a few too, don't you? He smiled. Don't we all? Daniel was waiting outside when I left school. Need a ride? He asked. I stared at his car. I remembered that car, remembered sitting in the passenger seat crying, and him ignoring me. No thanks. Come on, I'm not a total stranger. Exactly. That's why I'm not getting in. He frowned. Did I do something? I laughed, cold and short. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Try me. I leaned in. You hurt someone like me once. She didn't come back the same. And I walked away. Liam was waiting at the corner. You look like you just punched someone with words. Maybe I did. He smiled. You want to walk together? Yeah. We walked in silence. Not awkward silence. Safe silence. Later that night, Daniel texted me. Daniel, did I say something wrong? You seem different. I stared at the message. Different? No. I was the same. He was just finally seeing what he refused to before. At school, things changed. He started sitting closer, asking more questions in class when I answered, laughing a little louder when I was near. I wasn't flattered. I was annoyed. He was chasing a ghost, the version of me who would have cried for him. She was gone. Liam and I started having lunch together. You ever get tired of people only noticing you once you stop caring? All the time, I said. He pulled out a small sketchbook. I drew this. It's you. I blinked. What? You looked like you were floating that day, like you finally let go of something heavy. I stared at the drawing. It was rough, but real. You see people, don't you? I try. I nodded. Thanks for seeing me. Daniel cornered me after gym. Why are you avoiding me? I'm not. You used to smile at me. You used to talk to me. And you used to deserve it. His face darkened. What happened to you? I leaned in close. You did. He watched me walk away again, but this time, I didn't look back. Did you hear? Mia whispered, sliding her tray beside mine. Hear what? Lila's back. She re-enrolled today. I didn't flinch. Figures. Mia leaned in. She's already clinging to Daniel again, like nothing ever changed. Of course she was. I saw her before lunch. Same innocent eyes, same soft smile, same fake humility hiding behind pastel sweaters and trembling fingers. She walked straight into the chemistry wing where Daniel stood by his locker. Daniel, she said, breathless like she'd just run a marathon. I didn't think I'd see you so soon. He looked surprised, then softened. Lila, you're back? I missed school, she said quietly. Missed you? I turned away before I could gag. Later that day, Daniel caught up to me. You knew she was back? I'm not her keeper. She said she tried texting you. You blocked her? I'm not her fan either. He sighed. Come on, she's trying. No, she's acting. You think everything she does is fake? Only the parts she wants you to see. His jaw clenched. Why are you being like this? Because I remember things you conveniently forgot. Mia caught up with me after class. You okay? I nodded. It's starting again. What are you gonna do? Nothing. Nothing. This time, I don't have to play. I just have to watch. At lunch, Lila sat next to Daniel. Hey, she said sweetly, tucking her hair behind her ear. Hope you don't mind me sitting here? Of course not, he said. It's good to see you. She glanced at me across the room. Her eyes flickered, sharp, calculating. Then she whispered something to him that made him laugh. I stabbed my salad a little too hard. Liam noticed. You okay? I sighed. The circus is back in town. In English, we were assigned a group project. The teacher read off the names. Daniel, Lila, and you. Of course. Lila smiled like the devil in ballet flats. Looks like fate wants us together. I narrowed my eyes. Fate has bad taste. Daniel cleared his throat. We should meet after school. Plan it out. Can't, I said quickly. I have plans. Lila tilted her head. With who? Someone who doesn't manipulate me for attention. She blinked. I didn't mean, I know exactly what you meant. After class, Daniel tried to follow me. You can't keep pushing me away. Watch me. He stepped in front of me. You're being unfair. I laughed. Unfair? I begged for your time, your attention, your heart, and all I got was silence. Now you want fairness? He looked down. Things were complicated. No, you were just too cowardly to choose. I didn't know. You didn't want to. I walked away. Behind me, I heard Lila's voice, soft, distressed. Daniel, I think she hates me. He didn't respond. I didn't care. Liam met me by the gate. You okay? I nodded slowly. Yeah. Actually, yeah. We walked in silence, and I let the wind carry away what used to hurt. She could play her game again, but this time, I was a spectator, not a piece, and that was the difference. Are you okay? Liam's voice was soft as he leaned against the edge of my locker. Define okay. He smiled gently. You look like your mind's doing laps. It's nothing. He raised an eyebrow. Liar. I sighed. Fine. It's everything. That night, I opened the drawer I hadn't touched since I woke up in this second life. Inside was the journal, the same one I used to write in when Daniel stopped caring, when Lila started whispering her lies, when my body began falling apart and no one noticed. I flipped it open. Today, I asked him to come with me to the hospital. He said Lila was crying again. I bled. She wept. He chose her. I slammed it shut. The next day, I sat outside with Liam again. You ever write stuff you hope no one ever sees? All the time, he said. That's why I burn most of it. Burn? Yep. I write it all down, then light it up. Ash therapy. Sounds messy. Sometimes healing is. I brought the journal to school the next day. It sat in my bag, heavy like a secret. During group time, Daniel leaned in. You're quiet today. I was quiet before. You just didn't listen. He flinched a little. I'm trying now. I looked up at him. That's the thing, Daniel. Now doesn't fix then. Lila shifted beside him. She's right. We all have to accept the past. I ignored her. Some people accept the past. Others manipulate it. She smiled like she hadn't just been insulted. After class, I stood outside the school building with Liam. I almost gave him the journal today. Why didn't you? Because he doesn't deserve to read my pain. Not anymore. Liam nodded slowly. So what are you gonna do? I looked down at the journal, then pulled out a page. The one where I wrote, I don't think he loves me anymore, but I keep trying like it's my job to earn it. I ripped it. Then another. And another. The pages fluttered into the trash. Liam smiled. You're letting go. Feels like it, but not all the way yet. No, I said softly, but I'm getting there. I missed one page. Later that day, Daniel found it on the floor of the classroom. I was long gone by then. He stared at the handwriting, the words bleeding in ink. I used to cry in the bathroom after he left to comfort her. I told myself I was strong, but I was just used to being unloved. He showed up at my locker after school. Did you write this? I looked at the page in his hand. Where did you get that? It was on the floor. I shrugged. Does it matter? He looked torn. Was it about me? I tilted my head. Would it change anything if it was? I didn't know you felt like this. You didn't care to know. That's not true. It is, I said calmly. But don't worry, I don't feel that way anymore. As I walked off, Liam fell into step beside me. Everything good? I smiled for real. I think I'm finally getting good at choosing peace over proof. He grinned. That sounds like a line you should write down. I shook my head. No more letters. Just life. You seriously think I pushed her? I stood in the principal's office, arms crossed, heart pounding. Leela sat across from me, dabbing at imaginary tears with a tissue. Her wrist had a small bandage. Fake. She fell, I said flatly. No one touched her. She said you shoved her in the stairwell, the principal said. I looked at Lila. Tell the truth. She sniffled. I was just trying to talk to her. She got angry. Next thing I know, I'm on the floor. I wasn't even near you. Daniel spoke up from the corner. There were people around. Someone must have seen something. The principal nodded. We'll check the cameras. Lila paled. After school, Daniel caught up to me in the parking lot. Why would you even be near the stairwell? I rolled my eyes. Because that's where my class is. I didn't mean it like that. Yes, you did. You wanted to know if it was true. You believed her. Again. She was crying. Said she was scared. I laughed. Of course she was. That's her favorite emotion. The next day I got called back into the office. The footage played. Lila tripping over her own foot, clutching the railing, looking around to make sure no one was near, then sitting down slowly like she was posing for a painting. No one touched her. The principal sighed. Looks like it was an accident. I stared at her. No, it was a lie. Daniel stood outside the office when I walked out. Well? He asked. She lied. He blinked. What? There's footage. Go ask. His face twisted. I don't understand. Why would she? She did it before, I snapped. She faked fainting when I was supposed to meet your parents. She cried her way out of every truth. He looked stunned. I didn't know. You never do. He found me later in the hallway. Why didn't you tell me any of this before? I did. You just didn't listen. He lowered his voice. I'm listening now. Too late. I believed her because she needed me. I looked him in the eyes. And I didn't? He looked away. At lunch, Lila tried to sit next to me. I didn't mean for it to go that far. I stared at her. You tried to get me suspended. I just wanted Daniel to see how mean you can be. You lied because I didn't play your game. She blinked. I thought maybe if you backed off, he'd stop being confused. I laughed bitterly. He was never confused. He just never loved me. That's not true, she whispered. Isn't it? Liam slid into the seat across from me as she slinked away. Everything okay? Just another episode of Lila the Victim. He grinned. Should I get popcorn? Please. That afternoon, Daniel showed up outside my art elective. Lila confessed. Took her long enough. He scratched the back of his neck. I feel stupid. You weren't stupid, I said. You just wanted to believe the lie that made you feel needed. And now? Now, I said calmly, you'll have to deal with what's real. He watched me walk away again, and for the first time, I think he realized he didn't lose me today. He lost me back then. Wait. His voice stopped me at the bottom of the stairwell. I didn't turn around. What now, Daniel? I need to talk. I sighed and faced him. Talk then. He looked like he hadn't slept. His voice was low. I messed up. I should have believed you. Which time? When I told you she was manipulating you? Or when I needed you and you left with her? He looked down. Both. We stood there in silence. I wasn't going to make it easier for him. He swallowed. I didn't see what was happening. I thought you were strong enough to handle everything. That's not love, Daniel. That's abandonment in a pretty disguise. I was trying to keep peace between you two. I narrowed my eyes. There was never a war until she felt threatened. He stepped closer. But now I see it. All of it. I laughed bitterly. Now, that magic word. I'm sorry. You say that like it's a cure. No, I cut in. You don't get to want my forgiveness just because the truth slapped you in the face. He looked like he might cry. Good. You used to smile at me, he said. You used to light up when I walked in. I nodded. Yeah, until you made me feel like a shadow in my own relationship. I didn't know I was losing you. You didn't lose me, Daniel, I said, stepping away. You gave me away. Later that day, Liam found me under the courtyard tree. You okay? Yeah, I said, biting into my apple. He finally figured it out. Took him long enough. I smiled. You should have seen his face. Like he just realized the diamond he pawned off was real. Regret hits different when it's quiet, Liam said. It's louder when there's nothing left to fix. I opened my sketch pad, something I'd started carrying again. Liam peeked at it. What are you drawing? Closure. He laughed. That a new abstract? No, it's a door, and I'm walking out. After school, Daniel waited by my locker again. Can we just talk? Somewhere private? No. His shoulders fell. You don't even want to try? I tried. For years. You just never noticed. But I'm here now. I don't need you now. He stepped closer. Is there someone else? I smirked. Does it matter? He clenched his jaw. Yeah, it does. Then let it hurt. I left him standing there, jaw tight, eyes wet. Maybe now he'd understand what it felt like. To beg for presence and be given absence. To love deeply and be met with silence. To be noticed. Too late. Did you see it? Mia practically ran to me before first period, waving her phone like it was gold. See what? Someone posted screenshots, texts, voice notes, Lila's lies, all of them. It's everywhere. I blinked. What? She faked the stairwell injury, bragged about it to someone, even joked about your face when they called you in. I didn't respond. She's trending on the school gossip board. Still, I said nothing. Liam leaned beside me at my locker. So, karma came early this year? Guess so. He studied me. Why aren't you gloating? Because I already made peace. This part wasn't mine to deliver. In the cafeteria, whispers swarmed. She's insane. Manipulative. Poor girl who got framed. I walked in, and every eye turned to me. But I didn't shrink. I walked right to my seat, opened my water, and took a sip. Calm. Lila wasn't at school that day. Or the next. When she finally showed up, she walked in late to English with sunglasses on and a scarf around her neck. Drama. The teacher said nothing, but the class watched her like a wild animal they'd finally caged. She sat down next to Daniel. He moved his chair an inch away. I almost smiled. After class, I heard her hiss at him in the hallway. You said you'd protect me. I said I believed in you. You ruined that. I did it for us. There is no us, Lila. I didn't look at them. I didn't need to. Her downfall was loud. Desperate apologies, crocodile tears, silent stares where support used to be. But mine? Mine had been quiet. And far more permanent. Liam joined me outside during lunch. Your silence is poetic. I smiled. It's louder than anything I could have said. She's unraveling. You can see it in her eyes. She built her castle on sympathy. Now it's collapsing. And Daniel? I paused. He's realizing his empire was made of sand. Daniel tried to catch me after school. I owe you more than an apology. No, I said calmly. You owe me nothing. But I was wrong. About everything. I know. And I want to make it right. I met his gaze. There's nothing left to fix. He looked like a boy holding shattered glass, bleeding and unsure whether to let go or keep gripping tighter. I miss you. I missed me too, I whispered. That's why I stopped waiting for you. Liam and I walked home again. Regret makes people poetic, he said. Pain makes people honest. He looked over. So what now? I smiled. Now, I live. He waited for me after class. Again. Can we talk? Just 5 minutes. I stared at him, books in my arms. I don't have 5 minutes for the past. Please, Daniel said, voice low. I need to say it. I let out a breath. Fine. Talk. We walked behind the gym, where it was quiet. The place he once kissed me for the first time. Now it just smelled like sweat and memories. I was in love with you, he began. I looked away. Past tense already? He shook his head. I mean, I think I still am. I narrowed my eyes. You think? I know. I just didn't realize it until you weren't mine anymore. There it was. The truth. Too late. You hurt me, I said. I know. You made me feel invisible while I was breaking in front of you. He stepped closer. I didn't mean to. But you did. Silence stretched between us. He rubbed his hands together. I look back and I hate who I was. I hate how blind I was to what she was doing, to what you were going through. I swallowed the lump in my throat. You didn't just look past me, you looked through me. I want to fix this. You can't. He froze. Why not? Because love that needs fixing was never solid in the first place. He ran a hand through his hair. Do you love me? I did, I said quietly, deeply. His eyes lit up for a second. But I let you go. The light faded. You don't anymore? I shook my head. I love the memory of what I hoped you'd become, not the reality of who you were. He looked devastated. I'm sorry. I know. I should have protected you. You should have chosen me before I learned to choose myself. Liam met me by the gates after school, leaning against the fence. You okay? I nodded. I told him the truth. Hard truth? Honest truth? He glanced at me. Was it enough? Yeah, I said, because I didn't walk away empty. He raised an eyebrow. What did you walk away with? Me. Later that night, Daniel sent one last text. Daniel, I understand now, and I'll carry it. I'm sorry. Always. I didn't reply. Some goodbyes don't need answers. Some closures are quiet, and some love stories, they're meant to end. Are you ready? Liam's voice drifted into my room as I adjusted my scarf in the mirror. For what? He leaned on the doorway. Life, college, new everything. I smiled. I think so. You think? I turned around. Okay, fine. I know. He grinned. About time. We walked through campus one last time. The cherry blossoms were blooming again. Full circle. You remember when you used to cry in this spot? He teased gently. I nodded. And now I just sit here and eat granola bars. Growth? He said with a mock solemn nod. I pulled out a tiny notebook. What's that? My list. List? All the things I never did because I was too busy chasing people who never stayed. He tilted his head. Like? Learn guitar. Apply for the art scholarship. Watch the sunrise without needing someone beside me. He smiled. That last one. I can still join you though, right? I looked at him. Yes, you can. Daniel didn't show up at graduation. I thought he might. But then again, this story was never his ending. It was mine. Mia hugged me tight. You really made it, huh? Barely. You're different now. I had to die to come back. She stared at me. That's serious? I nodded slowly. It wasn't just about a second chance. It was about finally taking it. Later, Liam found me at the Overlook. You okay? More than okay. He sat beside me. What now? I moved forward. Alone? I looked at him, eyes steady. Not anymore. He didn't say anything. He didn't have to. We just sat there in the golden light. Not rushing, not chasing, just being. My phone buzzed. A message from Daniel. Daniel, I hope you're happy. I really do. I typed. Me. I am. Finally. Then I deleted the thread. No need to hold on to echoes. The sun dipped below the horizon. A soft wind brushed my cheek. And for once, I wasn't thinking of who I used to be. I was here, alive, chosen by me. Because in this life, I wasn't born to be someone's second thought. I was reborn to be my own first choice.